Jason Lauren on Nova 100.
Should we take a look back at what's unfolded over the last couple of months? We
A lot has unfolded.
very proudly have a new home here at Nova 100.
Yeah, and I'm so pumped, not just to be here at Nova, but that we've got the band back together. Clint, I don't know where you've been hiding, but
I've been around. I've been around, Lauren.
He forgot to charge his phone. We were trying to get onto it.
It took a bit of arm twisting, but we got you.
There was no way we weren't going to all do this
Yeah.
unless we were all in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was all in or none in.
Well, it just feels right.
Yeah, and I think after a pretty testing few months for all of us, this is a really happy ending, but also a really happy beginning for a new start for us.
For people that have come over to Nova from where we used to work, thank you and welcome. And
Yeah.
for people who...
And sorry that we don't really know how to use anything here.
Well, Jace doesn't know how to
It's
use
a bit
anything.
like we're on work experience.
Yeah,
So it's very much like where we used to be.
basically.
For people who are normal Nova listeners, and if you aren't aware of what's happened, is we used to do a breakfast show on another radio station, and last year we got the boot because they were bringing in Kyle and Jackie O from Sydney, and we're
Yep.
going to network a show in,
Yep.
and it sucked, to be honest.
Yeah.
We'd worked together for a couple of years. We were having so much fun. The show was, really starting to gain some momentum. The team was amazing, and then we just had the rug pulled out from under us.
Yeah, we felt like I mean, there's no nice way to put the fact that we got fired, but we felt like we were just getting started at that moment when the rumours started swirling that maybe there was going to be a changing of the guard over there. We were like, no,
And
surely not.
And also, you know what? We're not naive. This industry, it's the entertainment industry. You know, people lose their gigs all the time.
Yeah, not
for other
naive, but
things.
it was unsettling, right? And
Because we weren't spoken to about it. It was like we were being spoken about, but no one spoke to
That
us
was the
about
issue.
it. So we were all a bit like, no, well, really?
My issue was not that it was happening, it was how it was handled.
Yeah.
And not just for us, but everyone that worked on the show, everyone that worked at that station.
Yeah.
And I think the real sting was that we were being replaced by a show that they
So-
were networking from Sydney,
So
which
here's the thing.
Melbourne deserves better.
And I want to get your opinion on this because Lauren and I are fairly new to this caper, right? To this radio caper. We've been in the industry for a long time. In
You're on
media,
your second
but-
station now.
Well, I know. That's a sign of experience, huh? But how did it impact you, Jace? Because you've been here, done that for many years.
It was pretty personal for me.
Why?
On a number of scales. I had good friends that were working behind the scenes in my management. I knew people at the old radio station who were quite high up, and yeah, so it was pretty personal.
And that cuts.
And it did. It was a really shit feeling last year.
Yeah.
It really was.
I think I saw you in those last few weeks change your spirit changed.
It wasn't anger.
No.
It was just I was just bloody gutted. Again, I'm not naive. That's the industry. You know, people lose their gigs and move on and stuff. But it was just.
Do you know what?
It was more personal for you though
one of
than
the-
I think Clint and I were just looking at each other like,
Yeah, well,
we're
and-
just on this crazy roller
and that's where
coaster.
Jace went into protection mode, and and credit to you, mate, because you really looked out for Lauren and I, given we'd never experienced anything like this ever before. And I guess thank you for that, Jace, because it was a really, really sort of beautiful time, and it sort of helped us get where we are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you held our hand through a lot of that when we were like, I mean, we come from a TV background where we've heard TV was brutal, but
Oh, it ain't brutal.
not compared to this industry. And look,
We'd always joke those swipe cards wouldn't work one day, and bugger me, they didn't.
but it was tough for all of us. I think you're a dad of 3 with kids that you're trying to work out what school they're going to.
Yeah.
Trying to work out, your family is in Brisbane, where you were going to live.
But it wasn't, and this was what upset
Jay,
me.
Clint had just bought his first home. Like, he just paid a deposit on his first house 2 weeks before we lost our jobs.
But it wasn't, and you just bought the latest Louis.
So don't do that.
Okay, all
That's
right.
not funny.
But it wasn't just us. It was team members had just
Yeah.
signed rental agreements.
Yeah.
Upgraded cars and stuff. Like, it was a really hard time. But at the same time, I've got to say, the support that we have felt since we got shafted has been
Enormous.
overwhelming. And just overwhelming. Everyone has been so bloody nice in this city. I've had random people coming up to us at the shops.
Yeah.
A lady the other day grabbed me in Bentley. It was like I was dying. She goes, "Good luck, for Friday. We're all rooting for you."
So
Thank you."
nice.
Can I say though, that is Melbourne at its best.
Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
That's what Melbourne has always done really well. And having lived here all my life, like you, Lauren, that screams this great city, right?
Yeah, and I think to us, this is a job. We lost our jobs, but for the first time, I realised how many people lost their routine in the morning as well in this city that listened to us. And we're so grateful for those listeners who showed us support in a time where we felt like, I think we all probably hit rock bottom for a couple of days there where we didn't know what we were going to do with our lives, where we were going to be. Would we have jobs next year? Would we be able to pay our mortgage? Which, by the way, we're not the first and we won't be the last people to experience that, not in this industry, but there's a lot of people who have ridden that wave of losing their jobs recently in the current climate. And I think the power of having people to support you and to remind you that just keep pushing, just keep going, you'll get there, was really reassuring for all of us. And so for those listeners who have come over to Nova to listen to us now, we're so thankful, we're so grateful. And for the audience at Nova who are already Nova listeners, we're really grateful that you're still listening this morning too. And hopefully you stick with us for a while because
At
we're
least till
really
9.
excited by this.
Yeah.
I've got a real appreciation for this now, which I don't think I had going back a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I've always valued and loved the listener, obviously, but now I value and love the job so much more.
Oh, it's great. This is the best job in the world. And the fact that we get to do it with mates, like remember, that's what I was saying to you guys at the end of last year, and that's why it hurt so much, is because I've been doing this industry for 27 years, and I'd always say to you, Loz, like, it is so rare to get a show where the hosts are absolute great mates and have each other's back is just so rare. And we have that, and that's why it hurt so much at the end of last year. But to be able to go into this year going, we've got a new home.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're not going anywhere. I said to the management here, I'll die on this station. I hate moving. No more.
I'm not great with change either, to be honest. So
Oh, mate.
hopefully they stick with us for a while.
I was so scared to walk in here this
wouldn't
morning.
come in
I was
without
like
me.
a kid at primary school. I
waited
was
in the
like,
car park.
Lauren, how long until you're here? And then you were running late, and I'm like, Jace, where are you? Walk me in.
Yeah, we've
Can't
had
do
some
it.
teething problems this morning.
I'll tell you what, you know
to be
when,
fair, I wasn't running late. I got stuck in the car park because my car's too high for the car park here. I hit the roof and I've just left the car there.
Do you know what? There's a distinct lack of masking tape in this studio. It's
brand new building.
thrown me.
This studio's lovely, isn't it?
How's this, right? Over the time when Nova rang, and like you want to play it cool.
Yeah.
I was going through the GYG drive-through.
What's the GYG
Oh,
drive
because Mana Gomez.
Because I can never say Gomez. And I said to the
They've got a
management,
drive-through.
yeah, they do. I said,
I've
in
never
the
seen a
burbs.
drive-through because it's not a drive-through near me.
No, in the burbs. And I had Nova management on the phone. I'm like, all right, well, let me think about it. And I hung up and I came up to the window and the lady goes, bloody hell, I miss you, Lauren and Clint. You should come work here. Now, no disrespect to the people at GYG. When I got offered a job manning the drive-through, I picked up that phone and rang Nova back very quickly and said, we are in.
They wouldn't have you on drive-through. You'd eat more than you sell.
Well, I
You'd
think it
get
was-
fired straight away.
I think they were thinking me with the radio voice using the speaker.
Oh, that's very strong.
Yeah.
They
Please
do
drive through.
good stuff discount there as well.
Do they?
Yeah.
When did you work there?
Maybe you should rethink it.
Maybe I shouldn't have called Nova back.